Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday and time for Q&A Tuesday. Today's question is a really good one. I think many of you are going to relate to it because it is a question that keeps most of us awake at night. So today's question, this person asks, how do I deal with fear? Fear of the future, fear that I'll never be happy or find joy again. I feel like it all died with my loved one. Can you relate? I certainly can. I've been in that space when I felt like, oh my gosh, now that my mother is gone, my source of joy and happiness died with her, and I will never be able to find that happiness again because I was just in so much pain and so much grief. And I think the fear of finding joy again, or fear of the future, is even more exaggerated when it comes to the loss of a child, the loss of a husband, because there is such a depth and such a degree of belonging. I'm not saying that loss of a parent is any less, but I'm saying that when it's a husband and you depend on his income to run the household, to pay the bills, then you can find yourself really dropped into that pit of fear about security, safety, being able to pay the bills, and so on. So the way I choose to answer this question may not be popular with many of you, but this is what my wisdom is guiding me to say. We place our sense of safety and security on things that can be taken away. For many of us, it's our job, it's our loved ones, it's our bodies, right? We have expectations that our body will perform a certain way. We have expectations that our loved ones will be here forever taking care of us. We have expectations that the jobs we go to will provide the security that we seek. And that's the reason why we started doing those jobs in the first place. But here's the thing. If our sense of security or safety is attached to something that is impermanent, something that is mortal in nature, then fear is going to be a constant companion. I'm not saying that if you are someone who is living, you're going to have less fear if you lose someone you love. That's not what I'm saying. Being a human and being on this journey means fear is our constant companion. When we are humans, we will feel fear. There will be situations, there will be growth challenges that bring on this feeling of fear. And so the only thing to do is to be able to have an umbrella. And what do I mean about umbrella? I mean your connection to the divine. It doesn't matter what you call that divine, but just knowing and putting your faith and trust in something that's enduring, something that governs everything in the universe, something that animates the life force in you and in everything in the world that we live in the universe that we live in, something that directs the galaxies and the stars and the planets. That is the only way we can begin to feel a sense of safety and security. And I want to illustrate this by reading an article from the Chicago Tribune that I read recently. So this article tells the story of a couple who had installed a security device in their home, a baby monitor, which they placed in the nursery where their 7-year-old was sleeping. And one night they heard something really chilling. They heard a deep-throated male voice come through this baby monitor. And it goes on to say that the father rushed into the baby's room and grabbed their son, and it was their thermostat. It was their thermostat, which was normally set around 72 degrees. It had been turned up to 90 degrees, and the voice was back, coming through the speaker in a downstairs security camera. And this time, the voice was talking to them. So first, the voice was saying something to the baby, and the next time it was talking to them. It was a rude and vulgar voice, which was cussing and yelling. And the father was initially very, very upset and was sort of yelling back at this voice, but then he calmed himself down. Um, but he speaks about this experience being so scary because the voice said, I see you, I'm watching you all the time. And this is in an affluent neighborhood pretty close to where we live, close to the suburb that we are in. And so the father's words, I just want to read this to you. He says, all these devices you've put in there to safeguard yourself, to protect your home, your family, it is now being used maliciously to turn against you. And I thought this was such an interesting story for many different reasons. One of the main reasons being that we bring all these devices, we install all these features in our cars, in our homes, and we think we are safe. This is safety, this is security. And I'm not saying we should be foolish. I'm not against not wearing seatbelts when you're driving. Please don't get me wrong. But I am saying that if we put our faith and trust in a divine energy that guides your life, chances are your sense of inner peace will calm you when you have moments of real fear. Then maybe you don't need a security device, and your safety doesn't depend on that security device, which can get hacked, like in the story that I just shared. So fear of the future is real. Fear of up leveling is real. When you have to get out of your comfort zone, do something different, do something that you haven't done before, deal with the unfamiliar, challenge yourself to grow in some new way, fear is going to show up. Fear is going to be your companion on that journey. There is no growth without fear. So when someone we love dies and we depended on their income, their companionship, the sense of intimacy and love they provided, there is fear because your life situation as you knew it is no longer true. It has changed. And so if you have, let's say, the love of this person right here, that's been your safety and security and protection. But right above that, you have another layer, which is divine energy. When this goes missing, this is still here. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not saying it will be the same, but you have a sense that there is some sense to this whole thing. There is some method to what is happening. There is a reason, and that you are safe, and that your sense of inner peace is your deep anchor. That is something you can always trust. So this is my suggestion to you, my advice to you, that when you find yourself in a lot of fear and panic, really begin to explore the journey of this divine connection. Who is this divine energy you connect with? And if you don't have a sense of that connection, begin to start one. Begin to get curious about, how can I get a little more aligned with this divine force that runs the universe? What are some spiritual practices? What is one spiritual practice I can commit to every morning? Maybe it needs to take just 5 minutes, but that will deepen your sense of inner peace. That will deepen your sense of security and trust. And you will, over time, know that even as you're moving through the grief journey, even as you're mourning the loss of your loved one, even as you're experiencing the financial security, you know deep down in your being that you are held, you are protected, you are safe, you are taken care of. And that is more enduring than any other device, digital device, or security device that you can install in your life. Once you find yourself connected to this divine source, which is the source of everything that is happening in your life, and everything that you are, and everything you're moving through, and you really begin to feel that this divine being has your best interests at heart, and this divine being loves you like nobody can love you on the planet, then you begin to feel a shred of safety and security. And that is more enduring than any other fear or panic that may be holding you back, that may have you trapped in its grip today. So that is my advice to you. Find this connection with your divine source. Find a sense of meaning and purpose in the way you connect with this divine source. It can start with one small morning practice every day. So what does that morning practice look like for you? What are you feeling called to do? What is something that might be easy for you to commit to 5 minutes every morning? So these are some questions I invite you to ask yourself as a way to stay connected and stay tuned. Tomorrow is Wisdom Wednesday. I'll be back with a little nugget of wisdom you can carry away to make your life better, to make your days move with grace and ease. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.